Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of Almighty God be on all of you. Today I am going to discuss about the embryology part 4 in the glorious Quran. Previously the scientists, they thought it was in 16th and 17th century. Scientists like Adam, he said that the sperm, it contained the miniature human being. The head of the sperm, it contained the miniature human being. But later on, when they came to know that the size of the ovum is bigger than the sperm, scientists like de Graaf, he said that human being is present in the ovum and not in the sperm. But later on, in the 18th century, Sir Maupertuis, he propounded the biparental theory, and he said that both ovum and the sperm are responsible for the creation of the human being. They fertilize, then they form zygote, and which is described in the glorious Quran in great detail. The glorious Quran says in Surah Al-Hajj, chapter number 22, verse number 5, that we have created the human being from minute quantity of clay and then made it into alaka, and partly formed and partly unformed. When this verse was taken to Professor Marshall Johnson, and Professor Marshall Johnson, he was the head of the Department of Anatomy in Daniel Institute in Sir Thomas Jefferson University in USA in Philadelphia. He said that if at this stage, if we cut the embryo and we analyze, we find that some of the organs are formed and some of the organs are not formed. So if we described as complete creation, it will be wrong, and if we labeled it as incomplete creation, that's also wrong, because some of the organs are formed. So there is no better description than the description given in the Quran, that partly formed and partly unformed. And it can be treated, the Arabic word, as differentiated and undifferentiated. And Sir Professor Marshall Johnson, he said that some cells are differentiated and some cells are undifferentiated. Furthermore, the glorious Quran says in Surah Ash-Shajda, chapter number 32, verse number 9, that we have given the human being the faculties of hearing and sight. The same message is repeated in Surah Insan, chapter number 76, verse number 2, that we have given the human being the gift, the faculties of hearing, sight and feeling and understanding. So the Quran first speaks about hearing and then speaks about sight. And today science tells us that the first sense to develop in a human being, it is the sense of hearing. By the 22nd days, the air starts to formulate, and it is completed by the 5th month of pregnancy. And the eye, later on, the eye splits open, and by the 7th month of pregnancy it is completed. So the Quran is perfect in conformity with the science. And there was an experiment done where very newly born baby was taken, and that baby was from the mother who was typist, and that baby was placed with along 9 other babies whose mother was not typist, and the typewriter was sounded. All the baby was scared except the baby of the typewriter, because in the womb of the mother while pregnancy he was used to hear the sound of the typewriter. When the mother is pregnant, when the lady is pregnant, what she sees, what she hears, it has an impact on the child.